Intro: imagine a man who never seems to be in a hurry, who never shouts, who never loses his temper, who stays exactly as calm in the toughest moment as he was while sipping his morning coffee. The world calls him the Professor, Sergio Marquina. A fictional character, yes, but his mind, his thinking, and his way of operating are so real that people all over the world have learned a new way of living life from him. This video isn't just about a character from a TV show. It's about the mindset that lies hidden inside every human being, but only a few ever wake it up. Today we'll talk about the kind of thinking that sets a person apart from the crowd, the thinking that turns a man not just into an individual, but into a strategist, a leader, and an unbreakable force. If you keep losing again and again in life, if you feel like circumstances are against you, this video is for you. Because Sergio Marquina also lost everything: his father, his childhood, his normal life, but he turned his mind into a weapon and shook the world. The greatest weapon, the very first and most important thing you learn from Sergio Marquina is patience. In today's world, everyone is in a hurry. Everyone wants everything instantly: success, money, respect, love. But Sergio's way was different. He spent years working on his plan. Not a plan for a day, not a plan for a month, but years of hard work. When people say, "I want results tomorrow," Sergio says, "I can wait for years if I know victory will be mine in the end." That's the difference between an average person and a winner. A winner doesn't rush. A winner gives time to his plan, his skill, his preparation. Think about it: if you want to start a business, learn a new skill, or change your life, do you expect results in just 1 week? If yes, that's exactly the mistake most people make. Think like Sergio, make your plan, work on it, and be patient. The people who have patience are the ones who end up winning. Patience doesn't mean doing nothing. It means working consistently without worrying about the outcome. Sergio refined his plan every single day, paying attention to every small detail. That's exactly what set him apart from everyone else. Accounting for every detail, Sergio Marquina's greatest weapon wasn't his mind alone, it was his planning. He never left anything to chance. Anticipating every possible situation, accounting for every possible mistake in advance, that was his real strength. The same rule applies in life. People who just think, "Let's see what happens," often end up struggling through life. But people who plan their lives like a mission move ahead of everyone else. Sergio always kept a plan B and plan C ready for every plan. If plan A failed, he didn't panic because he had already thought through what the next step would be. That's exactly what kept him calm even in a crisis. You can adopt the same approach in your own life. When you start any big undertaking, whether it's a job, a business, or a personal goal, don't think of just one path. Think of multiple paths. If one path closes, you should already have a second one ready. That's real maturity, that's real strategy. Another side of planning is paying attention to details. Sergio never ignored small things. He knew that one small mistake could ruin the entire plan. That's why he checked everything repeatedly, made sure every team member understood their responsibility clearly, and never assumed anything. Mastering your emotions: the biggest enemy in the world lives inside a person, their own emotions. Anger, fear, panic, these are the things that force a person into making wrong decisions. Sergio Marquina's greatest quality was that he had complete control over his emotions. When his team was in trouble, when a plan started falling apart, Sergio's face still stayed calm. He knew that if the leader panicked, the whole team would fall apart. So he always kept his emotions in check, no matter how much of a storm was raging inside him. This lesson is for all of us. Difficulties will keep coming in life. Sometimes you'll lose a job, sometimes relationships will break, sometimes you'll struggle financially. But the person who keeps their emotions under control is the one who makes the right decision in a difficult moment. Decisions made in the heat of emotion are usually wrong. This doesn't mean you should suppress your feelings or not feel them at all. Sergio was human too. He felt pain, he felt fear. But he had learned how to manage his emotions so they wouldn't dominate his decisions. Understanding this difference is important. Feeling your emotions and letting them control you are two very different things. The next time you're in a difficult situation, take a deep breath. Ask yourself, am I reacting emotionally right now? Or am I making a thought-out decision? This small pause can change your entire life. Managing a team: Sergio Marquina couldn't have done anything alone. The secret of his success was his team: Tokyo, Berlin, Nairobi, Rio, and everyone else. But building a good team requires a good leader, and Sergio was a true leader. A good leader doesn't give orders to his team, he makes them understand. Sergio gave each member responsibility according to their strength. He knew who was best at what and how much each person could be trusted. That's exactly what turns a group of individuals into an unstoppable team. Sergio always stood by his team, no matter how difficult the circumstances got. He never left his team alone. This loyalty and commitment is what wins people's hearts. If you want people to stand by you, you first have to learn to stand by them. Giving up for a bigger purpose, every big achievement demands sacrifice. Sergio Marquina gave up his normal life, his comfort, his family time, everything for his mission. He spent years building his plan, dedicating every moment of his life to that one purpose. This lesson teaches us that if we want to achieve something big, we have to give something up too. Whether it's our comfort zone, short-term pleasures, or the people who pull us down, sometimes sacrifice is necessary for success, but this sacrifice shouldn't be meaningless. Sergio's sacrifice had a clear purpose: saving his brother, giving his team a new chance, and making a statement against the system. If you're also giving something up, first make your purpose clear. Sacrifice without purpose is just pain. Sacrifice with purpose is an investment. Accounting for every move, Sergio Marquina always used to say he never improvised, everything was planned in advance. That sounds strange to hear because in life we can never really predict what's going to happen next. But Sergio's approach was different. He thought like a chess player. In chess, a good player doesn't just think about their next move, they think 5-10 moves ahead. They also consider their opponent's possible moves. Sergio did the same. He didn't just think about his own plan, he also thought about the possible reactions of the police, the army, and the world. You can adopt this approach too. Whenever you make a big decision, don't just think about your next step. Think about what the outcome of this decision will be, what effect that outcome will have going forward, and what you'll do if things don't go according to plan. This long-term thinking is exactly what will set you apart from others. Learning from failure, there was failure in Sergio Marquina's life too. Members of his team got arrested, several plans failed, people died, but every time he learned from his mistake and made a better plan the next time. He saw failure not as an end, but as a lesson. This mindset is very important in our lives too. When we fail, we often compare ourselves to others or lose hope, but winners have a different approach. They see every failure as a data point: what went wrong here, and how can I do better next time? If you're also struggling in some field, business, career, relationships, don't look at every failure as an enemy. See it as a teacher. Every failure makes you a little wiser, a little stronger if you're willing to learn from it. Believing in yourself in the end, Sergio Marquina's greatest strength was his belief in himself. The world called him crazy, people tried to stop him from going on an impossible mission, but he trusted his own thinking and kept moving forward. This belief is exactly what sets a person apart from everyone else. When the whole world calls something impossible, and you still believe in your plan, that's the real mindset of a winner. Sergio never doubted his plan, no matter how difficult the circumstances got. Sergio Marquina didn't perform any magic, he didn't have any superpower. His real strength was his mind: patience, planning, emotional control, leadership, sacrifice, long-term thinking, learning from failure, and belief in himself. These are all things that any person can learn. If you also want to achieve something big in your life, start adopting this mindset today. Stop rushing, start planning, control your emotions, take care of your team, be ready to sacrifice for your purpose, think ahead, learn from your failures. And above all, believe in yourself. The world always remembers the people who think differently from the crowd. Develop your own professor mindset and watch how life itself starts making a way for you. If you enjoyed this video, like it, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video. Until then, keep your mind sharp and keep working on your plan.